You're almost on what I would call a flying carpet. It's a completely different vantage point.
It's up in the clouds, it's among the buildings, it's part of what makes Manhattan, Manhattan.
22-block long park, 7 acres.
You can almost close your eyes for a second and think you see the horse-drawn carriages delivering the meat around.
When you see what nature has done, how it stepped in when man walked out. There's this little demi-paradise.
And it's just so amazing to think that we were about to lose this space.
Literally, we were months away from the order to tear it down.
The High Line will happen in this city, and it'll happen in the immediate future.
The whole idea that something's been left alone long enough for nature to actually take a foothold in it and create this green space while no one was paying attention is fantastic to me. I love it.
There was an area of manufacturers, of warehouses, of shipping originally, and they didn't think about parks. And then it became residential, and suddenly people are saying, oops, where are the parks?
We are, I think, 58 out of 59 in community boards for having the least park space in the city. So just first of all, having more additional open space added into our neighborhood is a benefit.
It's a wonderful opportunity in 3 neighborhoods, Clinton, Chelsea, Greenwich Village, to provide open space, to be able to walk from the Javits Center all the way down to the village, to the meat market, without having to cross the street.
I call it the viaduct. It's like the viaduct of Rome. I mean, it just carried trains, and architecturally, it's an urban artifact, a relic.
The High Line is this very mysterious ribbon, and the idea of restoring it and creating a park out of it is just a beautiful, romantic, and very aesthetic idea.
It's not just enough to pave it, put up some benches. What we want to do is create one of the most interesting, exciting public spaces anywhere in the world.
The one thing we do know, there's not going to be anything like it anywhere else on Earth, and hopefully for generations or centuries to come, people will be building things and saying, yeah, this is kind of like that High Line in New York.
The High Line's a good idea. We don't have anything like it in this city, because once you're there, you sort of have to look, what's over the side, what's this neighborhood like, and who else is up here with me?
I am delighted to express my strong support for the High Line. This is a unique project that serves as a model for innovative land use development, and it will help improve air quality by promoting pedestrian traffic, and it will give New Yorkers another safe and beautiful place to walk.
So this will create that safe corridor for mothers, for children, for elderly, and I don't think we can underestimate the value of that.
When you invest in parks, you actually see an enormous benefit that will ultimately generate lots of taxes that will more than pay the cost of the investment in the High Line. And that's what we're here to do, is we're here to make investments in the future of the city, and we think the High Line is just a terrific investment in our future.
Anything you can do to get people into an area reduces crime, encourages economic activity, makes it more of a fun place. You know, we human beings are social animals. They want to interact.
But also for taxpayers, it helps keep people here. It helps make people want to be a part of the city. And when you do that, it's a good investment.
People in Rotterdam, people in Philadelphia, people in Atlanta are all looking at the High Line as a precedent.
It gives us a new set of eyes to look at other piece of infrastructure with, so that before you tear down things, people will say, well, maybe we could do a similar thing here.
And creating a sense of a new neighborhood. People are starting to call this the High Line District.
There's a High Line apartment building, there's a High Line restaurant, there's even a High Line beer being brewed underneath one of the High Line arches.
And we will be able to include it among the sites and the places to visit when tourists come into the city.
What I'd like to see is stuff that really draws people up there, so a space where you could have events, whether they're concerts or movies, art exhibits.
Great architects always make us think differently about 3-dimension and about use and about light and shade and perspective. That's what a great architect does.
And we hope the High Line is an impetus for developers to come up with creative solutions, ways to give back to the community.
What we're trying to do is use great design to create a great new public space that'll be a legacy for future generations of New Yorkers to enjoy.
Most people think of Chelsea as affluent, fancy art galleries, fancy restaurants. Over 90% of the kids in this neighborhood are on a lunch program. And so we've started a series of education programs to involve the children of the neighborhood in the project.
I can't think of a better addition to a history lesson on New York City than going up on the High Line.
A place where families can gather, children can learn, and all New Yorkers will be able to rise above the day-to-day grind.
This city is constantly changing. It's been doing so since Dutch days. That's why it survives through everything. That's why it keeps getting better.
What we're trying to do is create a great neighborhood. As we do the rezoning, we will provide for significant amounts of affordable housing.
It's going to create light and air around the High Line, create more, hopefully, affordable housing as well.
It really works for everybody because this is, in fact, going to be one of the coolest places to live in all of Manhattan.
This is an act of creation to create a space where people from all walks of life are going to mix and mingle together, and where the very best of what we all love about New York is going to be in action right here every day.
You know, think about it. When in New York City do you hear about a project that doesn't have a long list of opponents? Probably never.
We will build the High Line. We always have to raise money.
But over the course of the past year, we've made great progress on all fronts, and I'm pretty optimistic.
To be in an oasis in the middle of the city, a new Central Park on a smaller scale, it's a wonderful opportunity.
This one has put on a fast track, and it will probably be one of the fastest ones that we've seen come about, and that's a good thing.
Together, we can revitalize an irreplaceable transportation asset. We can create an open space of great beauty. We can improve the quality of life for countless New Yorkers. So I am delighted to join so many other New Yorkers in support of this important and innovative project.